Hi guys, in this video we're gonna actually replace the brake pads in this Xpulse 200 and this bike has somewhere around 10k on the odometer and both the brake pads are worn out actually. So further we're gonna change the brake pad at the front first and rear, then we're gonna flush the entire brake fluid. We'll use a 12mm socket to actually remove the caliper mounting bolts. Your entire caliper should be actually free right now. Slide it off by right, like this, and you could actually see the condition of the stock brake pads. So you could see that it's pretty much nearing the wear indicator right here. You could see these two here right now. These are the wear indicators. So then we'll actually remove these two dummy bolts by using a flat head screwdriver. The brake pads will be having a slider pin inside. These two Allen key bolts are the slider pins with regards to Nissan calipers and even RTR 160, 180 and 200 share the same caliper platform. Number 5 Allen key bolts inside. These are actually not bolts, rather these are pins which hold the brake pads into its position. By loosening up these two and removing the pins out, you can actually slide the brake pad outside. If these bolts are pretty much tight, then never use some pliers or something like that, because you have threads on the outer side. If you are using some pliers to grip on these two, maybe your threads might get damaged. So it's always better to use hand force. This is pretty tight because you have a spring which is loading your pads and the bolt right now. You can just use your thumb right here to actually press your brake pads like this. As you could see that the spring action is there. You could see there is two spring plates at the bottom. Yeah, so you could actually use your thumb to give some effort and then just pull it out. So as you could see, these are the stock brake pads, pretty much at worn out condition. So you could see the wear indicators right here. For a 10k kilometer on the Odo, we do not expect a brake pad to be at this worn out condition. And to be frank, these brake pads cost approximately 1200 each for the front and the rear. It costs 1200 each. So luckily we have RTR 200 on the market, RTR 160, 180 and 200, which do share the same brake pad design, and they are actually dirt cheap. They just cost 280 for the front and your local spare parts shop. So the front brake pad part number.
This is Apache 160 brake pads.
Yeah, 160, 180 and 200 share the same
brake
design. So the front brake pad part number is as follows: N9111 Further on, proceeding to installing the new brake pads, we need to actually push the brake pistons inside. To further push the brake pistons inside, you need to actually remove your brake reservoir cap, such that this removal of the brake pad, the brake caps, will actually enable you to easily push the piston inside by hands. We need a suitable Phillips head screw socket for this. You just install here and you just loosen it up. Since brake fluid is corrosive, to protect your paint work, actually use some sort of old rag or cloth actually to cover the tank part, such that any excessive brake fluid splashing or gushing out when you are pushing the piston right now does not come into contact with your tank or your valuable painted products areas. Proceed by actually pushing the pistons inside by hand.
So it's completely gone inside.
Yes.
We can push one by one. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see that the brake fluid is actually dripping out from the master cylinder. This is why we actually asked you to cover your paint work and stuff like that. And remember to do a proper wash after having this brake fluids into contact with your painted parts. Now have a wet cloth like this, and generously apply water onto the parts which are actually in contact with the brake fluid. This actually helps to dilute the brake fluid, rather directly it will start eating up your paint. Further, you can actually slide this mounting pins. As you can see, it's actually pretty much greased up. If your pin is actually dry, don't forget to add some grease, lube it up and fit it back inside. This one is actually pretty much in good shape, so for now we are going to actually reinstall it as it is. Now we are gonna install the new pads inside. The pad which is smaller, that actually goes to your piston side, just drop it in right here. That's it. And the pad which has this provision, that actually has to get in lock with this provision right here. That's it. And then you're gonna have to use the old pins and use your thumb to again load this piston like this and just slide the pins inside. That's it. Same procedure follows to the second pin. You just clean these pins slightly. Don't use emery paper because these has rust proof coating on top. If you are using some emery sheet or sandpaper, you can actually remove this coating on top, which actually will accelerate your rusting process further.
Okay. Now tighten panuma.
We'll tighten the sliding pins like this. Remember, never over tighten these pins actually, because they do not actually do any structural or they don't come loose that easily, because you have another dummy cap on top. So never over tighten these bolts. Followed by, we'll just install these dummy caps using the same Phillips flathead screwdriver.
Even the dummy cap have some thread.
Definitely it will have a thread.
Okay.
It prevents your pins from falling off. Also added, again, never over tighten these. Ensure your rotor actually goes in between these two pads. Yeah, so you can just slide it in, and you can actually reinstall these two caliper mounting bolts. So apply some generous amount of thread lock, slightly spread it out to the threads, yeah, and then hold the caliper in position, just slide it in. Use some good force to tighten these bolts, because they do come loose. Now we are gonna change the rear brake pads. This rubber dummy can be removed. Number 5 Allen keys to remove the sliding pin from inside the brake pad pins. Regarding the rear, you don't need to necessarily remove the entire brake caliper assembly out to just swap out the brake pads.
Okay.
You can use your thumb to push the brake pads in, and you can just wiggle out the sliding pins like this, and your brake pads will actually fall out like this.
So we can remove the brake pads when the caliper is intact.
Yeah, We don't actually need to necessarily remove your axle and your caliper mounting from the bike. Rather, we can actually remove the sliding pin and you can just pull out the brake pads.
Okay, nice.
And a tip before, you know, dropping out the brake pad like this, use, you know, something to pry the piston to push it in such that your brake pads will be, you know, loose to actually pull out. For pushing your brake pistons inside, we're gonna actually remove the brake reservoir cap right here. This is actually, you know, rotatable part. You can actually unwind like this. Once it's loose, you know, use some ring spanner like this. I'm using a 20-22 size ring spanner. You can actually have a leverage between your swing arm and your caliper. You can actually keep in this position. You can actually keep in this position. You can have your swing arm as a leverage point and just push out your caliper. You could see that the caliper is moving inside. Yeah, and then
So the piston is
yeah, it's actually effectively getting compressed inside. As you could see that the piston is completely inside right now. This enables us, you know, to actually
insert the new brake pad.
new brake pads. Yeah, since the newer brake pads will have a thickness higher than your worn out brake pads. Now pushing your piston inside will help you to install the new brake pads.
Okay.
So your old brake pads just slide out as in. As you could see, these are the old brake pads. These are actually pretty much worn out, and you could see that these are having uneven wear pattern. This side is having, you know, a more worn out thing, and this side is having more material. This is actually a pretty bad scenario. As you could see that the Hero brake pads are made by Nissan. They do carry these shims behind. These shims are, you know, sheet metal is actually to, you know, eliminate the squeaking noise or brake noise. Regards to rear brake pad, these brake pads are in common with CBR 150, Dazzler, Unicorn 160 and other bikes. As you can see, this is the aftermarket brand which we bought, and it mentions that it's suitable for Honda Unicorn 160, Trigger, Dazzler, CBR 150R. So this pretty much cost you about $150. So, and these are the brake pads which we are gonna install right now. So I'm not expecting, you know, the same performance as the OE pads. Make sure you just remove this shim from the older brake pad and just drop it down inside the new brake pad. This is pretty much just a slide-in procedure. Then you just slightly clean the pins and just drop the pin in. And we'll just install the dummy cap. That's it.